In my house, we do not agree on everything, especially when it comes to sports. Me, I'm a Man United fan. My partner, she's an Arsenal fan. When the Six Nations rolls around, I'm English, she's Irish. Tensions at an all-time high around the house. However, there are a few things that we unequivocally agree on. If you've watched the channel for a while, you'll know we're pretty pro cats. We are also pretty pro PSG in this household. 1, 2, and of course, the shiny new version, which we're going to take a close-up look at today. And of course, as you've noticed, we're pretty pro the Jordan brand version of the PSG shirts. Now, more importantly than all of this is we are very pro environmental sustainability, which is why these shirts and one other that I have to show you are really important to talk about. We're going to start by taking a look at this shiny new delightful PSG jersey, but we're mainly going to focus on how it's made and the environmental side of it today. If you want to check out a video on what I think of the design, particularly that lack of that iconic stripe that runs down the middle, get subscribed because we're going to have another video on that, and of course like the video so you can get more of me, James, the Boot Wizard. And after you've watched this, if you do want to pick up any of these more sustainable Nike jerseys, please hit the link in the top pinned comment down below or in the description, where you'll be able to do so from what is a Boot Wizard approved, authorized, genuine retailer known as Nike. Thank you. So what's special about this particular shirt when it comes to its environmental sustainability? I mean, it looks the same, it feels the same, and really, that's kind of part of the beauty of it. We can compare it straight up to the previous generation, so the previous year's shirts, and honestly, you can't really tell the difference. But critically, there is a difference, and it's in the materials that this has been made out of, and the basics are actually explained on the tag here. And even the tag, it just makes sense, has been moved from a plastic kind of laminated tag to a cardboard recyclable compostable tag. So we're going to check out this Jordan X PSG jersey, and on the inside it talks about Nike's Move to Zero campaign, which is a super important campaign within Nike to move to being carbon neutral and really take responsibility for what it is they're producing and the materials that they use. Over 70% of the emissions, of the impact on the environment that comes from making of a product comes from the materials. So if you consistently manufacture raw material, raw nylon, raw polyester every single time you make a jersey, you start to create a rather large problem because these are plastic man-made fibers. You've got to be looking at recycling these things in order to do what Nike wants, which is Move to Zero. As you can see in the label, you've still got Nike's dry fit tech, that's all standard, but what we're interested in is down here, made with at least 75% recycled fibers, which reduces waste and our carbon footprint. Move to Zero is Nike's journey towards zero carbon and zero waste to help protect the future of sport. Now, it's a great message, it's a great idea, and Nike have had it for some time. They've even produced some running shoes with up to 50% materials. They have some casual shoes in things like the Space Hippie, which are made from basically 100% recycled materials, and they really are making strides forward. But we've not really seen this with football shirts and football boots. They managed to do it last year with the Liverpool jerseys, but it's not been a huge deal. Nike have made a huge push towards Move to Zero and recyclable products with this season's generation of shirts, and the PSG one for me is probably the most noticeable and one of the best looking. The recycled material that's actually in this is made from plastic bottles, so they're cleaned, shredded into flakes and converted into pellets. So that is then spun into yarn, and that reduces the waste basically, but it also lowers carbon emissions by about 30% when compared to what I mentioned earlier, that virgin polyester, which is what they would normally use to make their jerseys out of. Before Nike made this big Move to Zero recycled polyester push with their football shirts, they were already using about 1 billion plastic bottles, recycling them and turning them into new products. So this can only be a good thing that it's moving in that direction as well. So for me, not only is it important that Nike are actually doing this in the first place and that this is going to be a big deal and it's going to really push their Move to Zero campaign forwards, but that they're now making a bigger deal out of it. That's what's important, to kind of push the narrative and get people to really think about and observe what we are doing and what we are using, wasting, throwing away. They've really pushed with some big names like Billie Eilish working on this Move to Zero campaign and just getting involved. This doesn't by any means get Nike off the hook as a major manufacturer in the world. We know that these major global manufacturers absolutely need to do more, and they need to be continually pushing towards having more sustainable products, more sustainable processes, and that includes applying that to their football boots. We had the GS360 years ago now, and we haven't really seen anything from Nike in the football boot aspect that's shown any step towards a greener, more sustainable line of boots. Still work to be done, because I have another shirt here that we're going to be showing you on another future video, so make sure you get subscribed for that. Recycled shirt in a plastic bag. Probably not the most sustainable idea, so we still have work to do, but I have to give a huge round of applause to Nike for what they've done here. I love to see this kind of advancement. I'm waiting to see more, and if you do want to cop any of this season's Nike recyclable jerseys, the ones that have at least 75% of recycled fibers in them, then do hit the link down in the top pinned comment. If you like this kind of stuff, then do let me know as well. But that's all from me here today. Have a good one, and I'll see you soon.